Where did you grow up?
When I was real little, we lived in the Whitnell area, and then we moved out here when I was a young girl, and then I grew up from here. I got married when I was 17 and went back to Whitnell. 17 years old, just a little bit older than you are.
Isn't that when you got married when you were 17?
I was 17.
Is that when you moved to Whitnell? Or did you move with your parents?
I was living out here with my parents. And then when I got married, I moved back to Whitnell because that's where Dan lived.
Oh.
And so we built a house over there.
Is this you and your sister?
It's me and my sister.
What did you guys like to do for fun?
What do we like to do?
Yeah.
Listen, what did we do? Well, in the summertime we played in the creek. We loved to play in the creek. And I really don't know what all. I'd have to think about that. And I helped my mom a lot because she was sick a lot. One time I was just a little girl. But we played with dolls and all the things that little girls play with, tea sets and stuff. Built playhouses outside in the summertime. We'd use moss for carpet and make stoves, refrigerators out of sticks. We didn't have a lot of toys like you all do.
How long did they last, the dollhouses?
Oh, well, I guess till we tore them down. Probably through the summer. We played outside all summer.
How big were they?
Playhouses?
Yeah, the dollhouses and stuff.
Probably less than this room, maybe half. We'd say probably 10 to 12 or something like that. Just get a whole lot of moss and make a carpet. We had a good time. We walked in the woods, played in the woods, sat on logs, and finally got a bicycle.
Is this you? Or who is that?
That's me right there, and that's my sister. And that looks like probably my mom's foot. My sister must have been learning to walk. She was younger than me.
How younger? How much younger?
She was about 18, 19 months younger than me.
You said your mom was sick all the time, and like with colds and stuff, or was it like an illness?
She just had a lot of different kind of problems. She's just simply a sickly kind of person. She would have a lot of sinus problems.
Where is this picture taken?
There used to be an airport out in Little Creek somewhere. It may still be out there. I don't know, but that's where it was done. I was probably about 3 years old there. I wasn't too happy, was I?
And this is you in front of the airplane?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get to ride in the airplane?
No, we were just touring around, I guess.
What did your parents do?
My dad worked in furniture, and he did some farming, not on a big scale. And my mother, she mostly stayed home, but during the war she worked some in the cotton mill.
How did the war affect you?
Well, I was real little, so it didn't have a lot of effect on me, although I did lose 2 uncles that were killed in Germany, and one of them was really close to us. I've got a picture of him somewhere. He lived with us for a while, so he was real close to me. My grandparents moved down here when I was still a little girl. They were from Asheville, Buncombe County. So was my mom and dad when they came down here.
Is this a family picture?
Yes. And I don't know who all these people are. This was made when we lived over at Whitnell on Hobart Mountain Road. This is my grandfather and my grandmother on my daddy's side. I never knew them very well. They lived in Asheville too. And this is just some of my uncles and aunts, and that's me right there. This was my other grandpa, my mother's daddy. See, he was a tall man. They all were.
Was this like a family? Was this like a family thing?
Yeah, they were just visiting us on a Sunday. Back then, families, they had big families, so they would gather for like birthdays, and everybody would come. And it was usually our house, always was.
Like, how many brothers and sisters did your parents have?
My parents?
Yes.
I don't know how many my dad had. I think my daddy had 4 brothers and 1 sister. She died young. I didn't know her.
Whose dog is that in the picture?
Oh, that's ours. It was Snowball.
Oh. Did you have like any other animals?
We always had dogs. And we, after we moved out here, we had a cow for milking, just 1 cow. And we had a mule. You know what a mule is?
Isn't it a cross between a donkey and a horse?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we had one of those, and that's what Daddy plowed with. We had a plow, and the horse would pull the plow. We always had a big garden, and we always had like strawberries and stuff like that.
Which incidentally is the 3rd World
Did you, like, what kind of chores did you do?
Well, I had to help some in the garden, but I wasn't real fond of that, so I did most of the housework.
Like what?
Any of it. Changing beds, washing dishes, which was an ongoing thing. I washed dishes, I mopped, I made beds, I dusted. We didn't vacuum because we didn't have a vacuum cleaner. Just used to grind. Took care of my sister. She was very dependent on me. Even though I wasn't that much older than her, I always took care of her. I helped my mother with canning, whatever she was doing. I did not do any milking. I would not. I did not want to learn to do that, and I wouldn't learn to do it. My mom did that.
Who are these people?
That's my mother, and this is one of her sisters and her husband.
Were you close to your aunts and uncles and cousins?
Pretty much when I was growing up. They were around a lot.
Where did they live?
Well, they too migrated from the Asheville area. They would come down and stay with us and get a job in the furniture factories and stuff. And then I think all of them grew up, got married, and stayed in this area. So their children were born in this county, like I was.
What was happening here in this picture?
That was somebody's birthday, and I guess that looks like my grandfather there, and that's an aunt, and so is that. Wasn't any of us. I mean, my immediate family. What's up?
I think it's a picture of cousins and stuff, but I'm not sure.
This is the uncle right here that was killed in World War II. This is well, that's my sister, and that's me, and this is my aunt, and this is my mama's family. That right there was a girlfriend of her brother. No, but that's my mother's family. See, we were always having birthday dinners or get-togethers or something. There's another one.
Who are these people?
It's my mom and her family. That's my mother. And that's 3 of her sisters and her mother and father. My grandfather was real tall and my grandmother was real small. I think she was like 40, and he was well over 6 foot.
What's special is this particular
kind of small.
So were you like the kids, like average? Or were they either really tall or really short?
The sisters all were pretty much average. My mom was like 5'4". She's taller than I am, or my sister was. That my daddy was. He was just 5'4" as well. Oh, here's something kind of interesting. This is when I got my first bicycle. And my uncle, that's my uncle there with me, and he bought it for me. He lived with us. Here's a better one. As my sister and a friend that lived out the road here.
Was he younger than your dad, or?
Yes, a little bit, but he just he married, but he divorced real young, and he never remarried, so he liked to live with us.
How old was he when he died?
He's probably in his 70s, and my dad was 71 when he died, and my mother was 75. So I doubt we both of There's one of my mom and dad and their dog.
Where is their dog's name?
That dog was always around. I think it was Snowball. I'm probably about 14, 15.
Are these your cousins or friends?
Yes. We lived on out almost to the end of this road. When I was like 4, 5, and 6, I started to school out here. And this girl right here walked me to school when I started first grade. That was the Hightowers, and they lived right in behind us. The house we lived in is not there anymore, but I know the spot. There's another house there now. I remember that house. It had a big old mimosa tree in front of it, and we played in it all the time. With climbing.
What was your school like?
I liked school. I did well. I played some sports. I played softball. I wouldn't play basketball because I didn't know where.
30 years ago.
I was a little shy.
What it was. I just thought it was interesting and unusual.
That's me at high school.
He became my friend.
And that was out of game. I don't know what grade. I was probably in the 10th grade or something like that.
Is this one of your uncles?
That's the one that got killed. His name was Monroe.
How old was he?
Well, he was really young when he left, and he got killed as soon as he got over there, so he's probably 19, 20. Young.
How old were you when you got your first car?
Because I never had a car until I got married. And then I had a car. Or he had one, I guess mine. It was a 44. One seat. There's a picture of it here somewhere. This is Dan. I don't know what happened to water. That's me when I went to the junior senior as a junior.
What color was your dress? Do you remember?
My dress?
These have been fascinating people for decades, these feathered items. And they always
I saw this girl right here when I went to Walmart Wednesday. I hadn't seen her in years. Her name's Marceline Oliver, and she lived down there where Danny lives.
Oh.
And that, you remember that old house that was there before he tore it down?
No, I just remember the trailer.
You just remember the trailer? But anyway, that's where she lived. And she took me. She was older. I was just a junior. I couldn't go with any guys because I was dating Dan then. And he went to school at Hudson.
Why couldn't you bring him?
Well, he didn't go to my school, so couldn't attend. I didn't know what color that dress was. Seems like it was blue, but I wouldn't say for sure. See, I had a whole lot of hair. My hair was thick.
Is that a real dog or is it a stuffed dog?
It's me and
I was an antique dealer in Newport, Rhode
Is it a real dog or is it?
It's a real dog.
In the 40s and 50s, she was a private
I always liked dogs.
single mom, and she had patients that were
Look at that car. That's when I was in the 10th grade.
She gave it to me when my first daughter.
Was your hair naturally curly or did you get perm?
I didn't have a perm. We didn't have perms much. I would just, it had some, but not a lot.
Would you just sleep in like hot rollers? Or?
We didn't have hot rollers. We just had, I guess it was just brush rollers. That's my daddy and his brother that lived with us. My daddy was the
Happy birthday, Oscar.
his name was Oscar. He had black hair. He's as black as yours. And my mother had dark hair, and I used to have blonde hair.
I wonder how that happened.
Well, there was a lot of his, but see, he was a Harwood. And the Harwoods came here really from Germany, and they're blonde people. So I guess that's what That's me and Dan, right before we got married.
It's a good picture.
He was a good-looking guy.
Somewhere probably 10 or so years after the turn of the century, it was given to my great-grandmother and great-grandfather.
How did y'all meet?
They
At the
lived in
movie
Detroit
theater.
at the time, and
I was standing in line. We used to go to, we had two theaters in Lenore. and one was more popular than the other. It was called Center Theater. The building's still there. And it was the thing to do on Saturday night was to go to the late show. So, like my dad would take us, me and one of my friends, and then her mother would come get us. So we were standing in line. It would be lined up way back above the theater. And this car kept going down the street, and two guys in it. And he kept looking at me, and I guess he hollered at me a time or two, and then he followed me in the theater. And when he was going up and down the street with his friend, he told his friend, he said, "Right there's the girl I'm going to marry." So he did. We met in February and got married in September. But he came on in the theater and introduced himself to me. I didn't know. We started dating later.
What did he do?
He was a mechanic.
These are very stylized pomegranate
he worked on big trucks.
He
was considered one of the best in the state of North Carolina. He was real
it's
good.
late 19th century, 1880s.
He was a real smart guy.
Where is this?
That's out there where we live, on Claymore Beach Road. That's when we first, no, it's not when we first lived there, because
The last person
I was over there.
6 or 7 years
We still had a lot of work to do on that house. It doesn't look like that now.
between $12,000 and $15,000,
We bought
but
it,
he really
had to do
didn't
a lot
know
of
that was he basically said
remodeling and stuff.
no.
I'll show you one of my, this is me and one of my friends cutting up.
With the chance of it actually bringing much more.
There's the garage that Dan worked in when we got married, and that's his car.
Where was it? How far was it away from your house?
That was uptown.
Oh.
It's a very good rod.
He worked for a guy up there that had owned the garage that he worked for. This one right here is the first year we were married, and that's what he got me for Christmas. Radio. I always had that dog with us. Where we went?
Stubble?
No, it was our dog. I think his name was, actually I think his name was Teddy.
Oh.
That's what we've come to know as the boss.
There's Dan and one of our friends.
This Caldwell print and repeller.
He made the drawing,
Playing around
showed it to Revere, and Revere then
At church out here we had we always had another daughter banquet in the spring.
Well, that's pretty strong, but I guarantee you that's what.
And this is one
He was
of
furious, and he actually wrote Revere.
That's some of the
a
girls
letter.
I was
We
at
don't know
church
that
with.
Revere got the letter, but the letter basically said this is the most dishonorable thing ever.
And that's
But
my sister.
Revere sent
Were you and
a
your
message
sister
to
close?
We were growing up,
Maybe
and for several years, and then
Release a copy of his print?
didn't see each other a whole lot for a few years there. And then when her husband died in 2000, I took care of her. I would go and get her and took her to the doctor and got real care for her. That's Dan and Diane. Got one in here of her riding on his back, and that's what she did every day when he came home.
Until she was how old?
Oh gosh, I don't know. She was 2 or 3. Or 4. She probably did it till she was 5 years old. 6. I think that's Diane right there too. Let's see if I see that one in here where she rode on his back every day. I think it's in his friends right here.
10 years ago, my aunt gave
There she is now.
Have you ever been to the emergency room or the urgent care and
Yes.
saw Dr. Mike?
I don't think so.
Mike Cowett. You
I
remember?
don't think so. But
He works over there at the urgent care center.
Yeah, he does.
That's
I had a picture of him right there somewhere.
is to find a bedroom
Oh,
like that with a
there he is, and he was a little boy.
Who's the little girl?
It's a sister.
Oh.
And I don't remember which one it was. He had three.
Hmm.
That's Danny came home from work one day. See how it had all his coveralls and everything.
What is the name of that dog?
Oh, that's Smokey. We spent a lot of time in the mountains, but in the summertime we would all go up there.
Who's that?
That's Diane learning to grow. There's her back peoples. She wasn't. She was a baby.
It's important now to try to figure out what the grade on these are. And there are
Dad, do you want to see these pictures?
Yeah. I would estimate both of these books roughly at about very fine.
I was looking at that one last night of you on your daddy's back every day at lunchtime.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I don't remember that, of course, but I remember you
I
telling me.
saw it last night. I'm not finding it right now.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Me and Danny look a lot alike when we were little.
Yeah. Sure do.
Well, I'm a happy baby, ain't I? I'm smiling.
Oh, you was always happy. You were always happy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed looking at these, Anna?
I sat here and looked through them last night
Thank you.
after we got back from I don't know where that was taken, but that's me on the end, and my mom and dad and my sister. And here we are at the creek.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
One of a Dan in here, where those guys, our friends, we went with a bunch of people up there the day before Kathy was born.
Yeah.
And he was sitting up there going to sleep. He'd been working late or something, and they went up there and got him and threw him in the creek. This is what I used to do when I laid out of school. See that woman with her hair rolled up?
Yes.
I used to stay home and give people permits.
Can I see?
There's Jeannie and Shorty Diane.
Yeah, I can tell that's Jeannie by the way she's got her hand on her hip and the way she's holding her head. We called her Aunt Jeannie when we were little. It was Mama's best friend from growing up years, wasn't it, Mama?
Yeah, she was.
And they're still friends. They talk on the phone all the time, man.
I talked to her Monday.
Did you? She doing all right?
No.
Is she not?
No. Not at all. She didn't sound good. She said.
Bless her heart. Do you need to go down there and see her?
I went, right before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I'm going to go again. That's before we got married. What happened to us?
Did you get your interview? Or are you still working
Still
on it?
going.
It's going right now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That thing been on all this time.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay. That's what it's for. Then Anna's you're gonna edit it, right?
Yes. We'll probably edit this part out.
Yeah. I bet you ate a whole lot of it out.
Did you ever want to move out of Eastern North Carolina?
Never.
Why?
Because I like it here. It's the best place in the whole wide world to live. It is to me. I've traveled and I've been quite a few places.
Where have you traveled?
Well, I've been as far north as Canada and as far west as Mexico.
I've heard anywhere from 500
Done
to 1300.
Florida.
Oh yeah, Florida.
Futuristic arts and crafts piece.
Traveled quite a bit, really.
Somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
That's diamond. See what you go first you think.
Yeah.
It's a really handsome hut, and I appreciate you bringing it in.
Oh, thank you very much.
I don't know where that is. I got them all mixed up.
These have been in my family for a really long time.
Here's when we used to go up on the Parkway down there. A lot.
Richard Moore, who was
We spent a lot of time up
Is that
there.
you and Kathy?
the basic the models.
There you are out in the backyard playing. Just your little short song. I wanted you to see that one, but I just don't know where it's at.
So I remember that being like 6 years old, being there for that.
This was that day up at the lake. They see if I can find that one.
What is the one